center of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in Arlington at AT&T Stadium. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. It's Wentz. And his first pass is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And now it's second down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Play action. Now Wentz. Looking for Green. Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morris Claiborne. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They come out here in the eye. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
He's quite an eyeful, isn't he? Big, strong, physical guy. When he came out of school and when I looked at my draft board, I went back through my notes to see how I had him rated. The number 2 back on my board coming out of college. Why? As I mentioned, big, strong, powerful guy, faster than you would think, and has the ability to catch the football out of the backfield, something that we didn't know he truly possessed. We saw that in the offseason workouts. Now he's putting his running ability to good use in the NFL.
Again, it's Elliott, and he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Now Prescott. Pass incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And it's third down. This offensive unit today, they're going to need Dez.
A full combo plate. Size, speed, toughness, not to mention incredible aggressiveness going and getting the football.
We've got a 3rd and 11.
Here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got the connection to Cole Beasley. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. A give to Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Connor Barwin is one of the most versatile outside linebackers in the league. Started his collegiate career as a tight end and basketball player. You see that athletic ability on display each and every week.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. So back-to-back plays here where he couldn't get anything on the ground. Now you face a 3rd and 10 and assume you're going to try to pass it, right?
I would think so, because you've tried to run the ball, and really it doesn't matter who got the ball in the play because there was no space to go. So I think you step back, throw the ball to try and pick up the first down.
They'll set up to throw. He hits Beasley right side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, And then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
They'll try the right side with Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They go to Elliott again. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
He's got his man. It's Williams. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always something.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And he puts it through. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So 2nd and 10 here. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Throwing on first is Wentz. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And, boy, he can get hurt.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now, Wentz again. Caught. It's Huff. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Here we go now.
Now the former Oregon man, this is Kenyon Barner. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Here we go.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. Well, the Vikings secondary put the clamps down on everybody, and Jordan Matthews was no exception. 3 catches, just 10 yards in Week 7.
Not going to get that very often with him because he has the ability to play from inside in the slot position. He can go outside. They can move him around and get better matchups. Just wasn't his day against Minnesota, but he's going to be happy with the win. Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Leopard, let's go. Green, 39.
Wentz to throw on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it third down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Looking for Aguilar. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A huge play there on the screen pass. 42 yards. And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Come on, let's go. White, 90.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He hits Beasley right side. And he lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy.
Let's find out. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
You got a hot minute here, partner. Let's talk about the Seattle-Arizona game a little bit. A 6-6 tie. And a lot of people was it bad offense? No, I thought it was excellent defense in that game.
Boy, whatever it was, offense was at a premium. Lowest scoring tie in NFL history since OT was added. How about that?
Well, the last time they had a tie, wasn't that Carolina and Cincinnati? It was the highest scoring tie in NFL history since they changed the rules. Pretty impressive. And one more crazy fact. The Cardinals franchise has played 5 6-6 ties in franchise history.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Now Wentz on 3rd down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
They go play action here on first down. And that's complete to Huff. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Smallwood, and he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Wendell Smallwood taking it in from a yard out. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he's brought down after a good game. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Prescott shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And this one caught by Dez Bryant. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Prescott. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And that is going to be no good. He pushed it wide to the right. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. Boy, you sure don't see that too often.
I guess you can't really call anything a gimme, but you figure with his track record, that's a sure thing. But it turns out it's not the case.
They start the drive with Smallwood. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards there on the catch and run. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
And this one's incomplete. Well, I want to ask you while we've got a window here about the games you've called the last 3 weeks. In Detroit, Matthew Stafford. You like what you're seeing from him in the Lions, aren't you?
I do, and I don't think anyone can even snicker anymore if you say MVP next to Matthew Stafford's name. 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the year, 68% completion percentage. How about the last three straight wins, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's playing at the highest level he's played at in the NFL.
And all 4 of those wins against the Bears, Eagles, Rams, and Redskins come from behind fashion. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Sproles, the return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Eagles take possession. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
How much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. So we've got a 2nd and 5. Smallwood trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The linebacker Anthony Hitchens there on the stop.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this one is incomplete. You know, Charles, a quick glance back at Week 7, an inordinate number of turnovers. On Sunday alone, 39 in 13 games. That's 3 a game. So a lot of teams looking to clean up play a little bit.
Well, we always hear coaches talk about ball security. I mean, you can't go to a production meeting or a press conference and not hear that. But at the same time, what you don't hear as loudly but preached as fervently, taking the ball away, raking it out of their hands, knocking it out. That's what the defensive guys are doing. So both sides continuing to try and get better.
He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he's brought down. And now what they want to see here, he's still down on the field. Obviously such an important part of their passing game, and the training staff, they're going to have to attend to it. First down, a run with Smallwood. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. On play action, Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. They go play action here on first down. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a second down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! Jordan Matthews, 37 yards. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now Prescott. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now back to throw. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They'll look to throw. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
The give is to Elliott, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. In the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get hooked and let a running back get outside, because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. They come up in an offset eye. They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Jason Witten, the intended target. And that brings up 4th down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face, because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner. And usually he's able to use his body and catch the football. But a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So the folks on hand here growing a little restless with their kicking game. That's now 2 misses so far.
And in a tight game, 4th quarter, the fans aren't the only ones getting restless, Brandon. There were a few looks of disbelief on that sideline as well.
They go play action here on 1st down. This one brought in by Dorial Green-Beckham. And he's brought down after a good game.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Green-Beckham has it over the middle. And they're able to get this one down to the 25.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. They come out here in the eye. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
To throw. Left side caught by Matthews. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 5 at the 4. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 4-yard line, it's 1st and goal now. Now Barner. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Just keep the ball on the ground. Do a little pounding. Chew up some clock. If they can get it in, that might be enough to get them home. And if not, the clock is definitely their friend.
Wins to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Here we go.
Now Wentz. Flushed out right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. And quickly they get to the line. Back to throw. Out left side here to Bryant. And he's brought down. They'll get 19 yards there. And the Cowboys are going to get a first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Again, we'll see the pistol here. He's back to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
Let's go.
Back to throw. This will be caught at the 2. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten with 4 seconds remaining. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. And he has got it. So barring something crazy on the kickoff, we're looking at an extra period to decide this one. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Now a first throw here in overtime. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion.
Here we go!
Now Prescott. Going right side, he has Winton. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Here we go!
Here's Elliott. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Let's go!
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam through the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
And the Eagles with a dime look. 6 DBs on third down. Here's Prescott. And this one complete to Winton over the middle. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7.
Here we go!
They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Brought down by Leotis McKelvin.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
Let's go!
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. After the penalty, it's Elliott. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Here we go! Brand 38! Flex round! Flex round! Come on, let's go!
Toss left to Elliott. And he'll take this one. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. Just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. They'll drop to throw. Complete to Jason Witten. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now Elliott. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They come up in a 2 tight end look here.
Let's go.
They'll let their receiver run it out of the Wildcat. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here in overtime, and we'll be back. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Now this time he'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they take a 17-14 lead. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. A field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Wentz finding time. Complete on the right side to Green Beckham. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great game partner, spectacular finish. They needed at least a field goal to keep the game alive. They do one better. They get it in the end zone and end it.
And I don't know about you, but I'm worn out. That type of a game takes it all out of us as well, not just the guys on the field. What a tremendous finish, and as you noted, were they going to go and try and get 3 and keep the game going? And that wasn't good enough for them. They got the touchdown, and that's why we're able to say goodbye.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Big D.
everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the Cowboys going up against the Broncos. With that, let's send you out to Denver. We're standing by in the booth. Our two men who will call the game for us. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos. One man in the backfield, Elliott. They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Fresh set of downs here.
Let's go.
They'll set up to throw. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it'll be a Dallas first down. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
They'll run with Elliott. And he's brought down. Give him 11 on the gain there. And that leads to a Dallas first down.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
Darian Stewart there to bring him down. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Here we go.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. And here are the defensive starters. In your old position, you get to talk about the secondary.
The best athletes on the field, Brandon.
Debatable.
Well, we'll see how this goes today. I love the way you put my guys down. But you know this. They've got to cover, and they have to tackle. They have a heck of a task in front of them in this game. And I think the end result, knocking the ball away, was a product of understanding where they were on the field, understanding how many yards they needed to pick up the first down, and tightening their coverage accordingly. Gave them no gaps, no spaces, no real air in which to catch the football, and end up making a really nice play.
That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Now Simeon completes it to Norwood. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch him now, Barney.
Simeon. Green with a catch left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green.
Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Anderson was really terrific on Monday night in the win over Houston. 107 yards and a touchdown. And, of course, he and Booker, they're both in the backfield. He's trying to fend off Booker for more carries.
And I believe C.J. Anderson is rising to the challenge because you're exactly right. People have been talking about Devontae Booker over the last 2 or 3 weeks about maybe getting more carries. Anderson showed us he still got it. And I liked a few of his runs where he's able to get to the second and the third level of the defense in that ball game.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Screen play, Anderson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. C.J. Anderson from 21 yards away. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They're going to look to throw. And Green with a catch left side. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets them up first and goal. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll run. Anderson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to arrive and in a bad mood.
They'll look to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. Third down here.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down. So on fourth down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And McManus able to put it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And on the left side, he's got Witten. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it'll be a Dallas first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. A handoff left, Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Here's Prescott. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. And down to the 20. A big play here for Dallas. 43 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
A first down carry by Elliott. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get them in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a third and goal. Time to step aside. Back to Denver right after this. From the 3-yard line once more. Now here's third and goal.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
And the back goes into motion. Now Prescott under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Von Miller, he's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up fourth down. Offline. He hooked it. It's no good, but there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a 3-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
They come up in an offset eye. And the offense inside the 5 here at the full. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. So the Broncos coming out now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's got his man on the crossing route. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard. And now they're in the hurry-up. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And this is going to be incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Second down here after the incomplete pass.
Watch him now, Barney. Over.
Simeon. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Sean Lee able to drop him for a loss of 4. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Now let's go. Blue, landed.
Simeon. And this is going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. This is taken near the 13. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Ten yards to go on 3rd. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Anderson. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Left side here to Sanders. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it's a second down. Gun. They'll look to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. A huge play there for Denver. 45 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jordan Norwood, a 15-yard touchdown grab, and the Broncos will extend their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out. Yeah,
and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Let's go.
Halfback sent in motion. Here's Prescott. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Two yards to go here on 3rd down. Now Prescott. Complete to Jason Witten. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I know that rookie quarterbacks have to earn veteran receivers' trust. Maybe we saw that on that play with that type of effort, huh?
Yeah, helping out the rook with a heck of a catch. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Shiloh Ko. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
They run it again with Anderson. And he'll power his way up near the 25. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Green 39! Green 39!
Watch 52. 52's the mic. Here we go.
Simeon. And he finds a man on the crossing route. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words,
and now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
the memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. They gotta have 6 here. It's third and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And Dez has got it. Dez Bryant for the Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. In the backfield is Anderson. Now Simeon. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. C.J. Anderson, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Screen play, Anderson. And he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's got time in the pocket. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. They'll get 32 yards there. And it's a 1st down for the Broncos.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
Getting late here in the 4th, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. They come out here in the eye. Again, Anderson. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now back to throw. They set up the screen to Booker. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 3. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And McManus able to put it through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that's a big one there. It's his 3rd field goal of the game, and a 2-score lead's got to feel pretty good right about now.
And while they're not free and clear yet, you're right. Now this defense can go out knowing that it's going to take more than one big play to catch them.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And on 2nd and 10 now. And they're going to go soft on the corners. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Here's Prescott. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Now Prescott. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And they're going to speed things up here. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Well, not the position they want to be in. Still a very, very small chance here, but they almost need a miracle.
Agreed. That means they've got to get it to the sidelines, get out of bounds, and preserve clock.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Out left side here to Bryant. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 20 that time. And the Cowboys are set up now with a 1st and goal. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll set up a throw. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope. And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part one of the equation done. Now they need to convert and then get that onside kick. So they'll line up for the onside kick. 18 seconds to go. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
hard to admit that I used to draw portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, who's in a bedroom, who's in a brain. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie. Unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight. Black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to. Being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of deer in the light. I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Haunted by the thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kids. Chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. An hour, colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was bloom and addiction, a miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute, drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil or a linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right, or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion. Reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month, and the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury alive. I let my means of being dissolved. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. An hour, colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings.
not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we've been putting in the hours. We only taking what was ours. So you better not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. We've been on the road, roll from the go. Hit my blow. You know we've been down for too long to give up. Can't go. I need all pesos, want it all. Case closed. I go balls to the wall, can't hold. To the ball game over. These boys can't hold me. You boys can't hold us. I told you. Better not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we've been putting in the hours. We only taking what was ours. So you better not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. When I was back home washing them dishes, I was just wishing I could just vision. I was gon' get it, I was on missions, I was just living. Walked in that building, we were just building, taking our time. We were just yielding, we were just chilling. Away from these haters, know they be watching like a theater. Yeah. Plotting these niggas that we need later. They gon' degrade us, it won't delay us. This is what made us. We got Omega, probably roll. Probably just leave. I see you later. I salute Wake, cop a new crib, got some new neighbors. You get this big, they gon' want favors, they gon' want flavors. Probably roll. Hope the Lord save us, wait from these haters. Hope the Lord save us, wait from these snakes, wait from these fakes. Wait, I need breaks, wait, I need cake. How long can we wait? Come on, better not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we've been putting in the hours. We only taking what was ours.